I am Grace Simonis, and in this lesson, I will be teaching you how to solve linear equations. There are different types of linear equations. Some of them will have one step, some will have several steps. In general, what you want to do is first, if you have parentheses, you need to distribute or multiply. Distributing just means multiply. That will help you get rid of your parentheses. Then you will want to look for like terms on the same side. That means what can you combine on the same side? After that, then you will want to move what's around your variable. Remember that a variable is a letter. So you move what's around the letter. And then finally, you'll move next to the letter by dividing. So when you're moving what's around it, you're either adding or subtracting. And when you're moving what's next to it, you're dividing. You always do inverse operations to move a number or a variable to the opposite side. I have 8 examples on the board that will help you master how to solve linear equations. So let's go ahead and get started. For number 1, we have x plus 9 equals 2. So the goal is to get x by itself. That's what solving means. So I need to take 9 to the other side. If 9 crosses to the other side, I need the inverse operation. The inverse operation of addition is subtraction. Think about it like when you walk forward 9 steps, to go backwards, you would need to walk back 9 steps. So the opposite of adding is subtracting. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 9 on this side. If you subtract 9 on this side, you must subtract 9 on the other side, because what you give to one child, you must give to the other. So now I'm ready to solve this. Bring down the x. 9 minus 9 is 0. That is what you want. So that's gone. We don't need to write 0. Bring down the equal sign. And then 2 minus 9 is negative 7. You can always check your work by going back and plugging it in. Okay, let's get to number 2. Number 2, I need to get this y by itself, so you move what's around it. Here we have a minus. The opposite of minus is add. So I'm going to add 6 on this side. If you add 6 on that side, you must add 6 on the other side. So bring down your y. Negative 6 plus 6 will cancel out because that equals 0. Negative 11 plus 6 would be a negative 5. If you need to go back and review your integers, adding and subtracting, go ahead and do that. I do have a lesson on this on my course where I cover integers. Number 3, negative 4x equals 44. So here, the negative 4 is attached to the x. On these other ones, the negative 6 was away from it. Those are minus separating the variable and the number. Same thing here. But here, there's nothing in between them. What that means is you are going to undo a multiplication. If you do not see a sign here, it is understood to be a multiplication. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So to get rid of this negative 4 so that the x can be by itself, you would need to divide by whatever is in front of that variable. So this here is a negative 4. I need to divide by negative 4. If I do that on the left, you must do the same thing on the right. So now that will cancel out because negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. We never write a 1 in front of our variable. It's understood to be there. And then 44 divided by negative 4 is negative 11. Once you have your variable by itself, you are done. Okay, let's keep going. So for number 5, I have a 7 that I need to get rid of. I have a 3 that I need to get rid of for the y to be by itself. You always move what is around your variable first. So I need to get rid of this 3 to move it to the other side. Again, it's an addition. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So you would need to subtract 3 on both sides. Drop that 7y down. That will cancel out. And then you would need to do 38 minus 3. That is 35. Now I need to get rid of the 7. Look, it's attached. If it's attached, remind yourself that that is multiplication. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. So divide. You always divide last. You don't need to be dividing first. So now I have y equals 35 divided by 7 is 5. So those are the 1-step or 2-step ones. The rest of these will have more steps. Okay, so for number 6, I see a variable on this side and on that side. What do you do? There's several ways you could solve this. Your goal is you want the letters or the variables to be on one side. Doesn't matter if it's the right or the left, and you want your numbers to be on the other side. So when I look at number 6, I see, okay, I could move any one of these. The only thing you have to remember is whatever you move, you need to do the opposite sign. So like if I'm adding, if it's an addition, you need to subtract. I like to move the small variable to the large one first. So the small variable here is 2x. I'm going to go ahead and bring it to this side. So in order to do that, it's positive because I don't see a negative in front of it. So I'm going to subtract 2x, subtract 2x. So 4x minus 2x is 2x plus 3. Bring that, I just brought down the 3 because I didn't do anything to it. 2 minus 2 is 0. That is what you want. So that's going to cross out. And then drop this with the sign in front. Now, if it's positive, you don't need to write a plus in front of it. However, if it would have been a negative, I would have needed to do that. Okay. So again, here's my variable. Move what's around it first. Okay. So I need to bring the 3 to the other side. So now I have 2x equals 11 minus 3, which is 8. Finally, I need to get rid of the 2 and then I'm done. This is a multiplication again. To do that, I would need to divide. And here, that's going to cancel. I would get x equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, hopefully this is making more sense to you now. Number 7, looking at it, you would think, oh my goodness, this looks so complicated, but just look at it one step at a time. Okay, so when I look here, I don't see parentheses, so you don't have to worry about the first step, but look at the second step. Do you have like terms on the same side? Like terms are numbers or variables that you can combine. So for example, if they both don't have letters, then they're like terms. If they both have the same letter, they are like terms. So when I look at number 7 on this side, -4 doesn't have a variable, 12 doesn't have a variable. You can go ahead and combine that. What I see a lot of students making the mistake of doing is they start adding 4 and adding 4. You do not need to do that. That is wrong. You only do opposite operations when you are crossing it over to the other side. These two are on the same side. So you're literally going to do exactly what it says. It says -4 plus 12. -4 plus 12 is 8. Bring the equal sign down. Here, do the same thing. Look for like terms. Normally, when you have more than 2 numbers is when you really need to watch out for these like terms. So here I have 3, so it has to have like terms. So when I look at my variables, I see 16x and I see 15x. I can combine those by doing exactly what it's saying, using the signs in front of them. So this is a positive 16x minus 15x. 16x minus 15x is 1x. We don't write a 1. Remember, it is understood to be there. If it would have been a -1, I would have written that. Then I need to bring down my -3. Okay, so now I have 8 equals x minus 3. Remember, the goal is to solve for x. Sometimes I see people doing here -8 because you're so used to bringing everything to that side. That's not what you need to do. Look for your letter. Here's my letter. Move what's around it. So what's around it is -3. -3, opposite of a minus is plus. So add 3 to bring it to the other side. 8 plus 3 is 11. Drop that x, and then that will cancel out. Okay, number 8. Here I see parentheses. That tells me that you have to get rid of that first. To get rid of the parentheses, you distribute what is in front of it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this 14 down. I never write my signs in case you have a negative. This is like saying +4 times W. 4 times W is 4W. That's a positive, so I'll write plus 4W. You have to distribute this or multiply this by everything inside your parentheses. Okay, so here I have 4 times negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 equals, I'm going to do the same thing here where I have 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times negative w is negative 2w. You'll notice I say negative and minus interchangeably a lot because they mean the same thing. Okay, now I have distributed, my parentheses are gone. Next step, do you have like terms on the same side of the equal sign? I do. I see here I have 14, that doesn't have a letter. Negative 20 doesn't have a letter. So you need to do 14 minus 20, that is a negative 6. Drop this down, plus 4w equals 6 minus 2w. Okay, so there we are. Now I need to bring my letters on the same side. I always do my letters first. Again, I always bring the smaller one to the larger one, or I'll find the negative one too. Sometimes I do that and bring it to the other side. But if you wanted to bring the 4w over, you would just need to subtract. If I wanted to bring this 6, I would need to add. You just pick one thing and stick to it. I always teach my students, focus on the small variable because they don't never remember what to do next. So a lot of people see too many numbers and start panicking, but no need to panic. We can do this. So here I'm going to go ahead and bring this smaller negative 2w to the side. You want to put it under its like term. So since this is a w and this is a w, I'm going to go ahead and put it here. So I have here minus 2w. I will add 2w here, add 2w there. I have negative 6. 4 plus 2 is 6w equals, bring this 6 down, and that will cancel out. Okay, now where's your letter? Here's my letter. Move what's around it first. So what's around it is the negative 6. To go cross it over to the other side, I need to add 6, add 6. Always do what you do to one thing, remember, do to the other side. So now I will drop down my 6w equals 6 plus 6 is 12. Divide by 6 because the 6 is attached. Divide by 6, and that's going to go away to get w equals 12 divided by 6 is 2. That's your answer. And I could have boxed all these answers out, but that is a quick crash course on how to solve linear equations. I do have a course in my Algebra 1 where I break down step by step. First, I start from teaching just one step. Then we go to 2 steps, and we do 1 step with adding, 1 step with multiplying, step by step by step. It's super important for you to master how to solve these, because when you get into the more complicated equations that are not linear, if you do not have this concept mastered, you will struggle. I also go over how to solve linear equations that have fractions. People hear fractions and think, oh no, I don't even want to mess with that. Well, I teach you how to solve those in a really simple way. If you'd like to learn and master so many more algebra and pre-algebra topics, please click on the link below where you will find information on how to sign up for my algebra courses. These courses come with quizzes and videos that break these concepts down simply, notes, flashcard, and of course you have me. You can always ask me questions if you're confused about something, and I'm always there to hold your hand and guide you along. These courses are available on my website, and they will help you master algebra and take your math knowledge to the next level. Click on the link below for more information.